Hi, my name is Sam Sykes. I studied for a degree in classics and a master's in ancient philosophy at the University of Oxford before studying the graduate diploma of law at City University of London. I'm especially interested in finding work involving elements of intellectual property and data protection. I'm currently searching for a permanent role in private practice before I complete my professional training. I work as part of the litigation team at Domestic in General, who provide extended warranties on white goods and electrical products. Our focus is on a series of High Court litigations against cold call scammers who impersonate D&G to defraud elderly and vulnerable customers. Before this role, I worked at CUP, assisting the editorial team in drafting contracts between CUP and authors, editors, and proprietary institutions. I've learned a huge amount from both roles, and I've been very fortunate to learn from sharp and generous in-house lawyers. I'd say the main challenge in working at D&G has been learning how to balance and prioritise a set of different workflows. Initially, my focus was just on supporting the General Counsel and our external lawyers on the High Court rogue trader litigation. Now, what with coronavirus and everything that's happened, my role has broadened. So I also assist the General Counsel from time to time on international contracts. I assist the financial crime team with customer fraud cases. I manage our rogue trader investigations, and I handle the small claims process. I found two things really fascinating in this job. Firstly, I've gained an appreciation of how much work private companies are shouldering to tackle frauds perpetrated both by and against their customers. The police and the regulators do support D&G when it comes to fraud and financial crime, but there's a large lacuna where D&G is effectively being forced to do the work itself. Secondly, I've gained an understanding of the litigation process and the strategic decisions it requires lawyers to make. So on the really big rogue trader cases, we work closely with a big team of specialist solicitors and external counsel, whereas on the lower value cases, we're handling the proceedings almost entirely in-house. So it's sort of shown me the full spectrum of litigation management in a way. I think the most important thing is to come to these roles open-minded and eager to learn. So I knew very little about copyright before I started at CUP, but after the months I spent there and the time I put in to understand, I now know a lot more about the challenges and the constraints that large publishers like CUP are operating under. In the same way, I knew very little about litigation process before I started at D&G, but now I'm quite familiar with drafting letters before action, preparing for case management conference, putting together knowledge pharmacal, third-party disclosure applications, and so on. So if you come at it just prepared to learn and open-minded, you get a lot out of these roles.